The 2020 Kia Telluride. Now, if you're a member of the automotive press, we've all wanted to get our hands on this vehicle so that we can tell people why this vehicle might be one for you to consider putting in your garage. Let's start with this. It's actually more American than many of the American SUVs on the market. The Sorento and the Optima are all made in West Point, Georgia. Now you're adding in the Telluride to the mix as another vehicle being made by Kia here in the United States. Now, you're going to get that 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty on it, which also makes it one of the best in the category from the standpoint of a warranty. But it's actually the vehicle itself, the namesake Telluride, being a city in Colorado. Kia's worked hard to make this incredibly American, but they've simply just packed it with everything that you could possibly think of putting inside a vehicle. I'm going to start with something super simple, the key fob. They went with putting the key fob buttons all the way down the side of the key fob. I kind of like that cool feature. It just makes it stand out as something different and sleek that you can do to differentiate yourself from others in the market. The exterior design of this is something that really makes the Kia Telluride different. It's bold, it's masculine, it's sporty, and it really gives you a feeling of big and roominess on the inside, but that outside design has an element of sportiness. So just a quick brief overview of the 2020 Kia Telluride. About the bold and aggressive stance of this vehicle in the opening overview video, but I want to talk really about the front. Now, obviously with the name across the front Telluride, they went for something that says, "Look at me, I want to be a standout," and it really is. But it's about this front end. It's so wide and low to the ground, and then instead of going with a narrow hood design, they really used every width part of this vehicle. Like, they just wanted to stretch the front of this vehicle as far as they could to include every element. And then if you make your way down the front, it's not a straight box down and it's not a smooth sail out. It's kind of the right mix of both. So when this thing comes down, it's just super sleek all the way down the front of this vehicle. And it gives the Telluride a really bold and aggressive stance when you look at it from the front. But as you make your way down the side of this vehicle, you can see the design elements as well. They took the wheels and tires and they fit them into the wheel well. Not only that, but they added black wheels on this beautiful colored exterior to give it even more of a performance look. You've got LED lights on the front, you've got LED lights on the rear, and as you make your way around to the rear of this vehicle, it's got a series of design elements that make it also performance oriented. So again, they went on the rear with the Telluride name all the way across the rear, and they tied it right into the Kia badge. I know it's subtle, but it's something that really brings the two names together. Now, spoiler integrated onto the top gives it a performance look. So when you look at it from the side, you can kind of see the rear rake down a little bit. That really makes it stand out. And then of course, as you make your way down the back side of the vehicle, you're going to see that the lights were integrated in seamlessly into the side. Again, LED on this vehicle, and just the way the design of the lights are laid out also kind of gives it more of a performance-oriented look as well. You've got the dual panorama sunroof on the inside for occupants, but on the outside, you can't see any of that. So it just kind of helps tighten everything up with this Kia Telluride. Exterior, awesome. We're gonna break down the engine and talk about what makes the Kia Telluride engine special. Now, you're gonna have a lot of pundits in the market that are gonna be like, "Oh, why didn't they go to forced injection?" Well, they just said, you know what, we're going to get back to the old school way of building a motor. So they went with a direct injection 3.8 liter V6 motor mated with an 8-speed transmission. Here's what's really cool. You get 291 horsepower. It has no forced induction. It's just a kick-ass motor. And that's what I really like about the fact that Kia said, you know what, we're going to make a cool SUV. We're going to pack a bunch of technology in it to help keep the price point down. They went with this type of motor. And this motor, it's nothing special, but that's exactly what makes it special, is the fact they said V6, 3.8 liter, 291 horsepower, 8-speed transmission. Here's what you get. and I love that. We're gonna combine the interior with one super cool feature that I really love about the rear of the Kia Telluride. Let's start with the interior, and I'm doing it from the rear of this because this is a 7/8 passenger vehicle. You get 3 full rows. I've sat in the back. You know I love to talk about the fact that I'm 6'3". I fit in the back of this thing, and that's what's awesome. So let me show you this. One, you just pull the tab and the chair falls down, right? You're at Home Depot, you want to load stuff in the back, you got easy access to do it from the rear. Then you want to go to the next row, it also falls down. And then the second row on the right side falls down. Then you hit the tab on the back on this side and it falls down, and everything opens up to give you plenty of cargo capacity with this vehicle. So it's super functional when thinking about getting family and friends and stuff in the back of the Kia Telluride. Now, up to the interior, super luxurious and refinement, heated and cooled seats. I love that feature. Plenty of USBs, especially the ones that are mounted on the front row, driver and passenger. Second row, right behind you have USBs to connect in. And then across the front, you've got a nice touchscreen media center up front. You've got wood-grained interior, and all those features are really cool. Also, one of my favorite features is when you use the turn signal to go left or right, there's a camera that pops right up in your center console that shows you what's in your left and what's in your right. So the cameras turn on, you've got monitors and cameras showing you what's there. Not to mention you've got a heads-up display, and that HUD display shows you the speed in which you're going and the miles per hour sign in front of you, and it's nice and seamlessly integrated right into the front. So the towing capacity of the Telluride is 5,000 pounds, but here is the kicker. You have an electronically controlled self-leveling system so that when you put 5,000 pounds on the bumper of this vehicle, most vehicles are going to sag down. This one actually will rise up. That makes it safer for the driver, it makes it easier to tow, and it takes some of the restraint off the motor and allows the vehicle to seamlessly, there's that word again, kind of cruise down the road. So in most of our videos, we really try and challenge ourselves to differentiate days 1 through 5. Day 1 will be an overview with maybe a hit on the exterior. Day 2 will be motor or something else that's a specific feature. Day 3 we'll go to interior. Day 4 we'll talk about a special feature. Day 5 we'll close it out, right? But the problem with the Telluride is there's just too much stuff to talk about. So I'm gonna smatter this video with a variety of different things. First, 5 different driving modes with a locking button so you can actually lock the vehicle in all-wheel drive for some off-road trail running experience. You have a comfort mode, which makes it soft and supple and gives you better MPG. Same with eco mode. They're 2 different ones that you can just easily shift through. Sport mode is fun. It kind of changes the driving dynamics of the vehicle to give you more of a peppier feel, to really unlock that 3.8 liter and that 291 horsepower. And then you have a snow mode, and this is their highest end version of the Telluride, so it is an all-wheel drive version. You also have wireless, you have electric induction up here, so it's for your cell phone. You just drop your cell phone in and you have the ability to charge your phone while driving. I will warn you though, if you leave your phone on there like I did for about 30 minutes, the phone gets really, really hot, so just make sure you monitor that phone so you don't end up messing it up. You've got a camera view on top that'll kind of give you a view of the vehicle. You also have your lane departure warning that you can easily turn on and turn off. And then you've got your powering up on the front. You've got that USB connector that I'd mentioned, so if you don't want to use the wireless induction here to charge your phone, you have a different way to do it. And then of course the front is completely streamlined. Everything is seamlessly integrated into this vehicle, not to mention for the kids, they love that second row panorama sunroof. So it's a moonroof, so it opens up, you can kind of see through the top, gives you kind of a nice open interior. There's one video I took off the cuff on social, and you can see that the vehicle is just completely opened up, just lightens everything up on the inside. So there you go, with a smattering of things. Oh, not to mention Harman Kardon speaker system, gives the thing a nice little bump thump, like if you want to pump the music. Closing it out with some music, little country music in the Telluride. All right, we're closing it out with the Kia Telluride, and we're gonna do the soup to nuts from the front all the way to the rear of this vehicle and tell you why this is gonna be up for a ton of awards in 2019 and into 2020. Let's start with the fact that this thing is more American than almost any other vehicle in the market, made in Georgia right here in the US. And then as we make our way from front to rear, it's got bold, aggressive styling. It's very pronounced. It's sporty. There's nothing else on the market that really looks like the Kia Telluride. If you want luxury, you've got it. If you want sport, you've got it. Then you go right down the backside, right? 3.8 liter, 291 horsepower, V6 under the hood. You got plenty of horsepower. It's nothing special, but it tows 5,000 pounds with an electronically controlled self-leveling kit, so it makes it safe to tow as well. Okay, then we continue our way with this vehicle onto the interior. It's soft, it's supple. You've got heated, cooled seats. You've got the wireless smart charging on the interior for your cell phone. You got plenty of USBs. A 10.25-inch screen on the interior makes it something that just, again, Kia puts more technology into it. Wait, we're gonna get to the price at the end. Then you go to the second row and the third row. Push button to drop seats, pull string to drop the third row seats. 6'3", sitting in the rear. I fit inside this vehicle. And then you swivel all the way around to the rear and look at this thing from the backside. I can't tell if it's a Range Rover. I can't tell if it's a Ford Explorer, but you know what I can tell it is? It's a Kia Telluride, because it says it big and bold across the rear, and that is something that is super cool. So I will close it out with a couple different things for you. It gets about 26 miles per gallon. It's available in the market now, and the price starts under $32,000. This SX is fully loaded, so it's going to be about $45,000, but you can go right now to a dealership and buy this vehicle, and it is absolutely one that you want to consider putting in your garage. I'm Mike Caudill for OurAutoExpert.com, and this has been our review of the 2020 Made in Georgia Kia Telluride.